Hi folks, this is Professor Eskew. I want to go over the syllabus with you. So first of all, I wanted to show you there are a couple ways to get to the syllabus. If you come over here to the course menu, you can click syllabus, and right there it is. So if you click this link, it'll bring the actual PDF file up. Let's see if I can get myself up here better. It's an actual PDF file that you can actually print the entire syllabus as if you wish. I also, if you see down here, uh, it brings up a copy of the syllabus. So before we do that, I want to show you the other place that you can find the syllabus. So if you go to modules and you go into getting started in our course, there is a page called syllabus. And there it is again. So you can click here and get the PDF, or I bring the whole syllabus so you can see it on screen. There are going to be a couple places where I'm going to say, hey, you should really consider clicking on the syllabus. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run through the syllabus, not all of it, but a lot of it, so we can do it together. Let me scoot myself all the way again. So again, this is Business 150, Human Relations. Your course number is 21465. If you guys ever need to get a hold of me, please reach out. You can either use my email directly or you can use the inbox over here. And virtual office hours, actually, since we are virtual now and everybody's at home, I would suggest if you need to get a hold of me, just email me. That email pops up in my email. It pops up in Canvas. It pops up on my phone. And so if you just need me, you got a question, just email me at the email address. And that way I can respond to you quickly. If we need to meet face to face, no problem. What I'll do is I'll shoot you an email, say what day and time do you have available, and we will do what's a Zoom teleconference. So what I'll do is I'll send you a link and you'll click onto the link and we'll be able to meet together. Okay? So I am available for you. Okay? Here's all of the different things you're going to learn in the course. Here's how it's going to relate to skills that when you go out into the industry, what industry is looking for. So here's the book. Most of you, if you have just the access code, and again, if you do not have the access code, please email me. I have a few left from the publisher. That access code will give you access to the ebook, and it'll also give you access to Connect. And Connect is where all, not all, but some of your homework and your quizzes are housed. Okay. And again, if you saw my earlier video, just go out to assignments, go out to a Connect Smart Book orientation. Make sure you take that. It's not, I'm sorry, it's not worth any points, but it will tell you how to maneuver through Connect and how to submit to make sure that I see your assignments when you submit. Okay? Here is the grading scale as it stands today. So Learn Smarts are in Connect. And what they do, they're about anywhere from 15 minutes to a half hour. You do not have to complete them in one entire sitting, but I would recommend doing that so that you have the consistency in the material and learning. You can take them as many times as you want. You get 5 points for each one. There are 12 chapters, so you're going to do one for every chapter. And it gives you an overview of the chapter and highlights the main ideas within the chapter. Had a lot of students who really, really like Learn Smart. Um, because they're taking multiple classes and reading the textbook. Although I would tell you the chapters in this textbook are relatively short and I find them really, really interesting. So you may want to take a look at that. There are 2 discussion boards, one at the beginning of the course, one at the end of the course. Self-assessment reflection papers. There's 3 of those where I just ask you to pause and think about whatever the topic is and talk to me about the topic, how it relates to your work or your life, and how can you apply the material to your life. There are simulations or video cases. Those are in Connect. So you'll either be in doing where we put you in situations and we're asking you to make decisions based on information, or you're viewing a video and we're asking you questions related to the video. Quizzes, there's 1 quiz for every chapter. You can take quizzes twice. I will take the highest score. And they are true and false and multiple choice. And then the last thing is a self evaluation. So you are going to actually evaluate your performance 3 times in this course. At the beginning, you're going to be looking and saying, I'm going to be asking you where you think you are in your knowledge of this topic. There's no right or wrong answers in these self-evaluations. And then about halfway through the class, I'm going to ask you to do it again. And so talk to me about what you've learned, how you can apply it. And then at the end, you're going to do it a 3rd time. And at the 3rd time, you're going to give yourself anywhere from 0 to 20 points that you think you have earned for the course. So you control, of the 330 points, you control 20 points, okay? The grading scale is right down here. You will be able to keep track of your total points through Canvas, through grades from the main menu, and we'll show you that in a little bit. Here I describe everything, all of the different assessment tools that we're going to use. So please read those. It'll tell you if you can take them multiple times. I always take your highest score of if there's multiple attempts, so don't worry about that, okay? You will find in things like the discussion board, your self-assessment, I'm going to definitely be giving you feedback. So I will be typing some messages to you based on your responses, and we will have that feedback available to you. And I try to get it to you relatively quickly, okay? Attendance. So attendance is really important, at least for the first 2 weeks, because we're an 8-week class. You need to have completed an assignment. Now that can be a response to the discussion board. It can be whatever, but you need to complete an assignment within the first 2 weeks, or I have to drop you because you would be considered a no-show. So just complete that, then there's no problem. That's how I measure attendance in this course, is by the amount of assignments that you complete. Okay, so if you're having any concerns, questions on how to complete assignment, I give you the instructions in the assignments, but if you have any questions, always reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. If you have any issues with Canvas, here's all the different links that'll help you get help. Generally, if you email me and say, hey, I'm having a problem with Canvas, I'm going to send you right here anyway because I cannot access Canvas on your side. Okay, so make sure that you're familiar with this. There's a whole bunch of resources that are available. These are all links that you can click onto. So if you have questions or need some services, please, 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 please feel free to do that. And then if you click this link right here, it will give you a list of all of the services that are currently available through our student services. So please use that to your benefit. So that's basically the syllabus. With the last thing, this is the tentative schedule. This is what if I were you, I would print this off. This tells you exactly what is assigned for each one of the weeks. So just print this off. It'll tell you you're going to need to, week 1, you need to do the Getting Started module and module 1. You need to complete chapter 1's Learn Smart by Friday. Quiz 1 for chapter 1 is due on Sunday. You need to start the discussion board, make your initial post, and complete your self-assessment and reflection in the Getting Started module by Sunday. Okay, so I will tell you, Learn Smarts are always going to be due on Friday. Your quizzes and homework and discussion boards will always be due on Sunday. Okay, but print this off. So that is the syllabus. Get us up here real quick. I want to show you the other thing. I'm going to move myself again. Another area I want you to pay particular attention to is announcements. Now you're going to see a bunch of them up here. You're not going to see all of these announcements yet because I've got some of them already scheduled. But here's what I want you to show you. If you would go into your announcements now, you'll see the Welcome to Business 150. But you're also going to see me checking in. That should be out there for you now. But if you notice, I'm always going to do at least 2 announcements a week. You're going to get one on Sunday morning, starting the week, that's going to say, hey, here's what we're going to be doing this week, here's what we're going to be covering, and here are the assignments. And then in the middle of the week, every single week, as soon as I get to the right thing, you're always going to get a midweek check-in. And that midweek check-in is just going to say, hey, how are you doing? Don't forget, these things are you're still responsible for, and if you've got any questions, get a hold of me. Now, I do these automatically because I think it helps you guys. Your lives are busy, and right now life is crazy with all the demands. Many of you I know are retail workers and retail employees, so you're out there in the throes, and so you're trying to balance your family life, your work life, your school life, and all of this craziness that's going on. So I want to give you all the help I can. I'll also probably shoot these video announcements every once in a while just so that we can keep in touch, okay? So I want to make sure that you know that I know that you're out there. And so if you have any questions during the week, if you feel like things are starting to be too much, you need to check in with me so that we can work together and make sure that you're having a good experience here in this class. Okay? So that's all I've got for you. If you have any questions, like I said, please reach out to me through the email. If you need to talk to me face to face, we can do a Zoom meeting and well, we can talk through things. So I appreciate you and everything, and have a good evening, and we'll see you soon.